Hello, everyone. My name is Braylon Stevens, and I'm a current senior at the University of Missouri. I have the pleasure of interning with the Missouri Rural Health Association this semester and am excited to be discussing the 3 simple steps to prepare for telehealth appointments. So by now, you should have already viewed the first 2 informational videos, so if you haven't had a chance to do that, be sure to check those out before continuing on in this telehealth series. I will be discussing the 3rd instructional video today. And I'm just going to give a big overview on how to prepare for telehealth appointments. So, designing your workflow, integrating technology, and preparing your care team will be your 3 simple steps. And these are all very important because as of mid-2020, nearly 90% of rural physicians reported they had only been using telehealth services for less than 6 months. So, having this new technology and just general way in which appointments are taking place can be either confusing or overwhelming, so I'm going to try and simplify this as much as possible. So our first step in preparing for telehealth is to design your workflow. This occurs in 3 steps. So our first step is preparing for your virtual appointment. I would start by informing your patient about telehealth, its security, and various forms of communication in which appointments can take place. Really try to help them understand this may be a good fit for their doctor's appointments, especially if commuting times are a deterrent. When scheduling patients virtually, ensure there is enough time before and after the appointment, as this will help reduce getting behind with your in-person patients while blocking an appropriate time length for your virtual patients. Patients should also engage with staff members approximately 15 minutes before the appointment in order for your patient to learn how to navigate the platform, test connection, etc. So next we have what to do during the appointment. And during the appointment, understand how you and the patient can troubleshoot telehealth should errors occur. We love technology, but we all know it has its ups and downs. And so if an error does occur, try restarting your smart device, closing other applications that might be open, and sending secure emails between you and the patient to keep that line of communication flowing. To learn more about this, I will link a website below. And if you are also interested in knowing more about recording patient visits through a Telemed platform, reach out to the Missouri Rural Health Association, and I will link their contact information in the comments below as well. So after the appointment ends, feel free to send a feedback survey to maintain quality assurance. Some of the questions may ask if their connection was stable throughout the appointment and just their overall impression of the virtual visit. Make sure to establish an emergency hotline as well for patients to call if medical issues arise before or after the visit. If an emergency does occur during the appointment, it might be best to have a nurse call for an ambulance while you remain connected virtually with your patient. This is why it is vital to have patients' current address and email and emergency contact information before the appointment begins. Sometimes having a Wi-Fi connection allows for a more stable signal when cell phone calls drop. So just keep that in mind if an issue arises, and there is more emergency protocols in the comments below as well. So our second step to preparing for telehealth appointments is the integration of technology, and that also occurs in 3 subsections. And so first I'm going to talk about the different technological devices that can be used. Basically, it's any device with a microphone and internet capabilities, and that will suffice for the telehealth appointment. On the physician side, it's generally recommended to have a device with a camera and an internal microphone, as well as a quiet space and adequate lighting. If a patient chooses to use a desktop computer, just ensure that they have a microphone internally or externally and make sure it's turned on, or else you won't be able to hear them. So most patients will call in for their appointments via cell phone, and I would advise having the patient download an app if possible, especially if they want to use their webcams, because it might make the visit a little bit easier for them to navigate. They may choose to turn their cameras on or not, but their microphone must be enabled, and a list of possible applications are also in the comments. Just be prepared to have a staff member help patients download and or navigate the apps as well. So next, when you're thinking about preparing for telehealth, it could suit your medical practice to create a new email or phone line specific for telehealth appointments. You can send a link directly to the patient's email to join the virtual room, and emails also have a chat function as an alternative form of communication. If you choose to create a new phone number, this number may also communicate through texting and calling as well. So the third step is to prepare your lovely care team. And that also happens in 3 steps. So the first thing you want to do is you want to assign a staff lead who will assist in all things telehealth. So you want to create a specific role for someone who knows all the ins and outs and the details, or knowing where to contact if they have any more questions, which would be the Missouri Rural Health Association. Next, you really want to educate your staff, and you want to instruct them on the workflow and the protocols and how to educate your patients properly. I would initiate cohesive staff meetings to inform every member of the new telehealth protocols, but really focus on those scheduling and emergency protocols. And lastly, it can never hurt to practice and practice again. So I would have practice rounds with mock telehealth appointments, as this will help smooth out any kinks in the system and allow for staff feedback before putting this all into action. And then really just take the time to reflect on what went well and what needs to improve before you have patients connecting with you virtually. And so always, if you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to the Missouri Rural Health Association and they can assist you with whatever need be. So up next in this video series, you will learn about providing telehealth services. Thank you for listening.